It's an honor to open this second NFDI Science Slam and to say a few words on NFDI at the beginning. And I prepared some slides with the title Oil, Wind, and NFDI. So if you work in research data management, you sooner or later will hear the sentence, data is the new oil. But is this actually true? And did you ever think about it? So I did in the last few weeks, and yeah, this is what I'd like to start with. So let's first, wait a moment, so now it works. Let's first look at the data side of this sentence. So data should be fair according to the FAIR principles. It should be as open as possible. It should be not controlled by a few, and it should be, in terms of data sovereignty, decentralized and federated. And of course, you can add more characteristics of data. But let's have a look at the other side. So on oil and the oil economy. Oil is centralized. It is only owned by a few countries in the world. It is furthermore organized in a top-down manner. That means a few oil companies control the whole market, which you know, of course, from the price policy at the petrol stations. And we all know that oil is not scalable, so the resources are limited. And of course, oil is producing a lot of problems like climate change and so on. So all in all, I would say oil is not a good analogy for data. And so data is not the new oil, and it hopefully will never become the new oil, I would say. But can we find another analogy which maybe fits better to data? So I thought about this, and I would suggest to try it with wind energy. So we can stay in the energy sector, but now with the focus on wind. So mankind is producing a lot of research data every second. Now it's an incredible amount of data which we are producing in research, but also in economy and everywhere else. I think you can illustrate this continuous data flow as wind, maybe as a data stream, and a research organization could be illustrated by a single wind turbine, which is earning from this continuous data flow a certain amount of data, which they then use for doing research and getting research analysis results. But as you know, wind turbines are often assembled in wind farms. And also wind farms are a good analogy to what we do in science. We have so a wind farm is sharing some kind of infrastructure, for example, the cables between the single wind turbines. Maybe a wind farm has some facility houses around, or a small and shared buffer storage for the electricity. And yeah, it is also a good picture for what we do in science and research, since we have certain communities or maybe NFDI consortia, which are also sharing their infrastructure for doing research data management. And if we then zoom further out, we have the whole power grid of wind energy. So several wind farms are producing then the whole electricity for example, one nation or several nations. So if we summarize, wind energy is driven bottom up because yeah, wind turbines can be operated by even private investors, small companies, but also big companies. It is decentralized because the wind turbines have to build where wind is actually. It is scalable because as long as the sun will shine, we will have wind on Earth. And at the moment, we are only earning a small fraction of it. And altogether, it is building this powerful network or power grid, which then has the possibility to produce enough electricity for whole countries. And this is an analogy which I think fits very well to what we do in NFDI. NFDI is a kind of power grid for research data management in Germany. It is a bottom-up approach and is shaping the future of research data management and starting a cultural change in research in Germany and also in Europe, because we are member of the European Open Science Cloud too. So I brought some numbers of NFDI under the umbrella of the National Research Data Infrastructure Association. We have now 216 member organizations and institutions. We have 27 consortia, from which 8 will start officially in March next year. There was the confirmation by the joint research conference last Friday. At the moment, we have more than 800 involved persons in our network and 4 sections. Sections are or in sections, cross-cutting topics are tackled by people from the consortia and the member organizations. We have at the moment 4 sections on the topics metadata, terminologies, and provenance, common infrastructures, ethical and legal aspects, and training and education. Time is too short to introduce more details here, but if you are interested in what we do at this powerful network NFDI, then you can check out our website nfdi.de and you can stay connected. We have a regular newsletter where you can sign in for. And you can also follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and on LinkedIn. So at the end of my talk, I'd like to draw 2 conclusions. So the first one is obvious, I would say. I hope I could convince you to stop oil, analogies in research data management. And the second conclusion is that NFDI is starting a wind of cultural change in RDM, so be part of it. And at the very end of my talk, I'd like to thank all participants of the Science Slam. I'm now eager to see your presentations, and I'd also like to thank Sonja and her team for organizing this event the second time. And thank you all, and greetings from Karlsruhe.